Hey guys, Jonah here, once again, drinking beer for your entertainment. And I'm feeling a bit green today. I've been back in the hospital again. Uh, my God, these treatments, oh, they really do knock you, man. My advice to you, dear viewer, do not get cancer because it's a right fucker. Anywho, the beer we have today is from the Scandinavian um, beer thing, beer box even, by Beer 52, and you might have an idea about well, you don't know if you know these guys from Norway, but if I show you the can art, you've got maybe a rough idea of where we are. And it is Amundsen. And if you're in the UK, you'll know who Amundsen are. It's a double page thing or a quadruple page thing. So they do have a quite interesting article about them. They're in Oslo. And here you go. This is what I mean. If you haven't seen their artwork on their cans before, it is, and this one's quite a mellow one. This one's called Refraction of Light. It's got a skull whose eyes are shooting out light beams. It's a hazy Session IPA. And right at the bottom, that is their logo. It's a sort of, I don't know, I always thought it's like a Native American type sort of bird thing. It says Amundsen, which is kind of cool. And that's how you spell it if you wanted to know. What have we got in there? We've got some wheat, we've got some oats, and obviously we've got barley in there. It says, warning, it contains gluten. 4.7 on the ABV in a 330 can. The hops in this bad boy, I believe, are Mosaic and Magnum. So this is quite a session IPA, or a pale ale, as I like to call them, because that's what a session IPA is, dear viewer. Don't believe the hype. And Magnum's usually used for bittering. If it's an IPA, that implies, well, to me anyway, that there'll be a big amount of bitterness, a big hot bitterness kick. The fact that it says session IPA, I don't know if that kick is going to be very big. Because if you've got a lighter beer, do you need so much bitterness? Sounds a bit weird. So basically, this this beer is a Mosaic Pale Ale. That's how I look at it anyway, dear viewer. There we go. Look at that thing again. And it's proper crazy. I thought that was a snake coming out of that skull's face, but I think it's like tattoo. It's like tattoo art they use on a lot of their a lot of their cans, which I quite like. Don't have any tattoos, apart from the ones that I gave myself when I crashed my bike when I was drunk, landed on my bare hands, and drove gravel into the palms of my hands. I still have, if it will show, but I still have dirt inside the dermis, I think it is. So basically, I tattooed scratches on my own hands. Smells quite good. Right, there's the old glassy. Let's get this bad boy into the glass and we will see what we get. So obviously this is a bit hazy. Oh, got a few dobbers, a few yeast particles in there, I think. At least I hope it's yeast. Lovely pale colour that's slightly darker than just a straw colour. So this is probably kind of getting onto an amber. Finger and a half, maybe. If I did it on this side, I don't know why, but that side looks taller. Bordering 2 fingers worth of head. And look at that. I don't know if it'll pick up. Look at that carbonation. My goodness. That's rushing. I don't know if you can pick up the little bits and bobs, but that is outrageous. Maybe if I focus on the head. There we go. Look at that. Bubbles of doom. And then look down there. Huge amount of kind of cyclonic activity. If I was a weatherman, if I was a weatherman, that's what I'd call it. Wow, look at that. Look in there. Lovely fluffy clouds of head, pure white, not too large. I mean, there's a few large bubbles, but not super amounts of large bubbles. Lovely tropical notes, mango, papaya, maybe a bit of grapefruit in there. Typical kind of mosaic flavors. Some people say they get blueberry from mosaic. I don't, and I'm definitely not getting from this. Maybe in the background there's a small amount of berry nut on the nose, but hey, who knows? A Magnum, because everybody seems to use Magnum for bittering, they don't really. I mean, Magnum's just a generic kind of green hop, really. So you get a bit of that kind of citry type green hedgerowy type stuff. But that is about it. But people don't use it for mouthfeel, flavouring, or definitely not aroma. But what they do use it in is lagers and pale ales. Wow, that's weird because this is an IPA, isn't it? No, it's not. It's a pale ale. Anyway, let's dive in, dear viewer, and we'll see what we get. Oh, actually, before I do that, I should probably do one of these fantastic logos that everyone loves, and then do a cheesy grin. And that should be the thumbnail for this video, unless I've fully messed it up. I don't know. Cheers and beers, guys. Oh, wow. First of all, there is that carbon dioxide burn on my tongue. Well, yes, the one thing I didn't say is the main hop is not two-row or Marisota or something like that. It's Golden Promise. So you do get a slightly different mouthfeel from the malts, which is quite nice. Okay, it is reasonably hoppy, but it's not IPA hoppy, put it that way. It just isn't. In fact, there's more bitterness, I would say, coming from the carbon dioxide in this beer to make it fool your mouth into thinking it's bitter than there is actual bitterness in there, which is weird. But then beers sell more if you use moniker of IPA. If you had a IPA stout, it would probably sell more than if it was just a normal stout, because people are easily fooled into believing the rhetoric and thinking that IPA somehow means unbelievable quality, which it doesn't. Just the name of a beer. Anyway, this is not a bad pale ale. So the bitterness there. Then we're getting the fruit. A little bit of kind of sour fruit, possibly even grapefruit, but I don't think it's that bad. Weirdly, the mango and the kind of papaya and that kind of soft fruit stuff, I'm not getting. I'm getting the more kind of bittery type fruits like grapefruit, maybe a little bit of pineapple in there, that type of thing. And this is not a juicy IPA either. And weirdly, although there is wheat in there, like we know, and oats. Of course, it's got hops in it. I suspect that that's purely just to get this kind of hazy kind of colour. Oh dear, look, there are some floaty things in there. So I might not drink all the way to the bottom. Now, these dry hop beers, yeah, I hate the way that, oh, it's meant to be hazy and that kind of stuff. So why, if it's meant to be hazy, does all this sort of crud fall to the bottom of the can? It's only in the last kind of pour of your can that things go proper hazy. If it was actually a hazy beer, it would be in suspension all the time, don't you think? maybe it's additions to the beer, making it look hazy, but in fact, maybe it's not as hazy as it would be. Dear viewer, I'm getting cynical in my old age. I've just been in hospital having some heinous treatments. Don't worry what I say. Amundsen do make a really nice range of beers. Where you can seem to always get them is in Marks and Spencers. So they are reasonably expensive, these beers, because Marks and Spencers, as we all know, dear viewer, see if I can put that head on my shoulders. There we go. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, look, I can put my ear on it as well. That is very bizarre looking. But yeah, have a look out for Amundsen beers. I do recommend them. They are one of the craft breweries out of Norway. From what I understand, because my friend used to work in Norway somewhat, all of the imports of beer, all the imports of ingredients to make beer come from places like Germany and outside, because very difficult place to grow anything. So Norway do import a lot of their kind of stuff from outside, and I don't think they're a member of Europe either. No matter how people would like to think that Norway and Sweden and those kind of, and Denmark, in fact, is Denmark in Europe? It might be. What's the other one? The one that goes up the other side. I can never remember what that one is. Anyhow, yeah, they import a lot of their goods because they can't grow their own. Finland, that's the other one. Yeah, so this is actually not a bad beer. If it wasn't for the Session IPA moniker, I probably would give it sort of 3.5 out of 5. It's got some floaty bits in there, which I don't really like from a quality control point of view. But also, I hate the name Session IPA. So you're losing a point. So you're not going to get more than sort of 2.5. Maybe if I'm feeling generous, 2.75. There we go. Another beer down. But don't let that stop you. You might really like these beers. And it's definitely worthwhile taking time when you're in Marks and Spencers to look at their beer selection and have a look at Amundsen and hope that you don't find a hazy Session IPA, which, as you well know, dear viewer, is absolute nonsense. This has been your cynical Unclejona here, drinking beer so you don't have to. Don't worry, because I will return real soon with another beer review. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And remember, drink beer because it makes you smarter.